Have you ever wondered if a house can hold on to the memory of a tragedy? If the very walls can be stained with darkness? Today we're journeying to a quiet suburban street in Amityville, New York, to uncover the story behind what many call the most haunted house in America. This is the terrifying tale of 112 Ocean Avenue. Our story begins not with ghosts, but with a real-life horror. In the early morning hours of November 13, 1974, the community of Amityville was shattered. Inside the beautiful Dutch colonial home at 112 Ocean Avenue, a 23-year-old man named Ronald DeFeo Jr. took a rifle and systematically murdered his entire family as they slept. His parents, Ronald Sr. and Louise, and his 4 younger siblings, Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John Matthew. The crime was baffling. How could one person kill 6 people without any of them waking up? Neighbors heard nothing but the family dog barking. The police found all the victims lying peacefully in their beds. It was an act of inexplicable violence that left a dark stain on the house and the town. The House of Dreams had become a house of nightmares. For 13 months, the house sat empty, a silent monument to the tragedy. Most people were too scared to even consider living there. But in December 1975, a young couple, George and Kathy Lutz, along with Kathy's 3 children, decided to take a chance. The house was beautiful, spacious, and being sold for a shockingly low price. They knew about the murders, of course, but they believed they could fill the home with new, happy memories. They thought the past was just a story. They were tragically mistaken. The haunting began before they even fully moved in. When a priest came to bless the home, he entered an upstairs bedroom, the former room of Mark and John Matthew DeFeo. As he sprinkled holy water, he reportedly heard a deep, masculine voice command, "Get out!" He felt an invisible slap and was overcome with a feeling of intense sickness. He warned the Lutzes to never use that room as a bedroom, but he didn't elaborate on the terrifying encounter. The Lutzes, still optimistic, brushed it off. But the house had other plans. From the very first night, things were wrong. The house was unnaturally cold, a deep, bone-chilling cold that no fire in the hearth could warm. George and Kathy started noticing strange things. Doors would swing open and slam shut on their own. Windows would mysteriously unlatch. The atmosphere grew heavy, oppressive. It felt like they were constantly being watched. The activity escalated with each passing day. Kathy began having vivid nightmares about the murders. She would see the events unfold in her sleep, feeling the terror of the victims. She also discovered strange red welts on her chest one morning, with no explanation for how they got there. The children were affected too. Their youngest daughter, Missy, began talking to a new imaginary friend she called Jody. Missy described Jody as a pig-like creature with glowing red eyes, who could change shape and sometimes appeared outside her bedroom window at night. George's personality started to change dramatically. The once loving husband and stepfather became withdrawn, moody, and obsessed with the fireplace. He would spend hours staring into the flames, letting the fire roar day and night. Most unnervingly, he started waking up every single night like clockwork at 3:15 a.m. This was later discovered to be the estimated time of the DeFeo murders. He felt a chilling presence in the room, something dark and malevolent that seemed to be taking control of him. The paranormal phenomena became relentless. Strange odors, like cheap perfume or foul decay, would appear and disappear without a source. Swarms of flies infested the house, even in the dead of winter. Green, gelatinous slime would inexplicably ooze from the walls and keyholes. One evening, Kathy was levitated a few feet above her bed while she slept. Another time, the children's beds were violently shaken by an unseen force. The family's dog, Harry, refused to go near the upstairs, cowering and barking at something invisible. The family was living in a state of constant fear. They saw apparitions and shadowy figures moving through the halls. They heard phantom footsteps, whispers, and what sounded like a demonic marching band playing in the living room. One night, George woke up to see his wife had transformed into a 90-year-old woman, her face wrinkled and her hair gray. The vision only lasted a moment, but the terror was real. The house was tearing them apart, physically and psychologically. The climax came on their 28th and final day. The supernatural activity reached a terrifying crescendo. The furniture was being thrown around by an unseen force. The walls seemed to move and breathe. George and Kathy claimed they saw a hooded, demonic figure outlined in the doorway. It was the final straw. Realizing their lives were in danger, they grabbed the children and fled into the night, leaving everything behind: their furniture, their clothes, their possessions. They never returned. The story of the Lutz family's 28 days in Amityville became a media sensation, sparking a best-selling book and a series of blockbuster movies. It captured the public imagination and terrified a generation. But was it true? Almost immediately, skeptics and paranormal investigators began to pick the story apart. Ronald DeFeo Jr., his own lawyer, claimed he and the Lutzes fabricated the story over many bottles of wine. Researchers pointed out inconsistencies in their accounts. Neighbors never reported anything unusual during the time the Lutzes lived there. Subsequent owners of the house have reported no paranormal activity whatsoever. The famous quarter-moon windows, which looked like glowing eyes in the movie posters, have been replaced. The house number has been changed, and the address is now different to protect the privacy of the residents. It looks like any other home on the block. So, was it all a hoax? A clever ploy for fame and fortune? Or did the Lutzes truly experience something evil in that house? Something that retreated back into the shadows after they left? The debate rages on to this day. Believers argue that a traumatic event like the DeFeo murders could absolutely leave a dark energy, a psychic imprint on a location. They point to the priest's testimony and the family's genuine terror as proof. Skeptics maintain it's one of the greatest hoaxes of the 20th century. Whether you believe the Lutzes or not, the story taps into a primal fear. The idea that our homes, the places where we should feel safest, can turn against us. The legacy of Amityville isn't just about ghosts or demons. It's about the unsettling mystery of what happened at 112 Ocean Avenue. The truth perhaps lies somewhere between fact, fiction, and the darkness that can reside in the most ordinary of places. So next time you hear a strange noise in your house at night, you might just think of Amityville. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of the Amityville horror. What do you believe? Was it a real haunting or an elaborate hoax? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. We'll see you in the next one.